If you are looking for unique and modern apparel, you can find it right there in Summerville at FLY Modern Apparel. Plus, it's all at a great and reasonable price point. That's our next guest on today's Charleston Women Podcast.
This is Charleston Women Podcast, where you can meet like-minded, strong, independent, professional, and inspiring local women. This is Charleston Women Podcast.
Now, I'm so happy to welcome to the Charleston Women Podcast. This is Margie Sutton, who is the owner of FLY Modern Apparel. And Margie, we're happy to have you here and maybe do a little shopping during the podcast.
Oh, that sounds good. Thank you for having me, Erin.
Yeah. So tell me, I've been kind of digging in, going through your website, looking at your cute stuff. First of all, tell the listeners where we can find you and then kind of like what's your vibe? What kind of stuff do you sell?
Well, we're located in Summerville, South Carolina. Our address is 114 East Richardson, and that's our FLY Modern Apparel clothing store for modern women. And the way that I choose my items are that a mom and daughter can both come in and shop and find something. I love to style them, differently for each age group.
That's great. So, the mom you said can find something, the daughter can find something. I love that you're creating an activity that we can do together as mothers with our daughters. What kind of stuff will we find? I mean, I was looking online. I saw all kinds of cute dresses. You've got accessories, right? What else?
Yes, I do. I have, I love patterns. So I choose a lot of really cool pattern. And I, of course, have basics because you have to have basics. But I love to have things that look a little unique, not the same as every other store in the area. So when I go shop, I check for fabric quality, I check for price point, and then also uniqueness of the items. It's kind of a boho. And then some things are, just really classic. And then some things are have a little bit of a vibe of maybe vintage look to them as well.
Do you have a price point-ish that you could give our listeners an idea?
One of our top price points usually is not over $150. I try to stay under that. And I've been successful in having a really good quality. That's one of the things our customers love about our store is that I am able to offer unique styles with great fabrics at a great price point.
Right. We're getting good quality at a good price point.
Yes,
what I hate when I go into, boutiques or smaller stores, I hate the salesperson who might come across as pushy, like she might mean well, but sometimes it's like, it's too much. Like I just want to kind of peruse on my own. But I've noticed like you train your people to help, not to just sell. Right. And I'm sure that's a difference that your customers can feel.
Well, that's one of the things that most of our customers say that they love the most about our store is that they feel at home when they come in. And I do train them to take the time with the customer and to actually see what they like and then help them kind of step out of their boxes as well and not just gravitate to what they normally gravitate to. And if someone comes out of the fitting room, I always tell my staff, you never say that doesn't look good on you. You say, maybe it's not the best fit. And then they really go and help them find what they need that makes them feel really good. And I do train my staff to do that. We're not a high pressure sales. It's mostly for us about having the quality of the relationship. And people come back because of that. And that's missing, I think, in a lot of shopping experiences.
And I love that I hear you say sometimes you might suggest something that's out of our comfort zone, right? Because sometimes we just gravitate to the same stuff all the time. So it is really fun if someone's like, try this on. And you're like, I would never wear that. And do people find that like, wow, like shockingly, I really like this. And they walk away with something great.
And 9 out of 10, that's what happened.
Wow.
And we've actually had people come in and they actually changed their whole wardrobe because of that. And they thought I could never wear that. And then we get them, engaged, and we always have fun. They want to come out in the fitting room and do a little show for us. So we have a good time.
Yeah, I think you're just hanging out with girlfriends when you go to FLY Modern Apparel.
That's what it feels like.
Yeah, I love that. In 1996, it was Southern Women to Women magazine. Now it's Charleston Women magazine. Charleston Women is all about strong, capable, confident, hardworking, nurturing, determined, dedicated, and inspiring women. Our readers are business owners, entrepreneurs, mothers, sisters, wives, and grandmothers. Pick up your copy of Charleston Women magazine at Charleston area Harris Teeters and Food Lions. Charleston Women magazine. We are Charleston Women.
You're listening to the Charleston Women Podcast.
Margie, how did you get into this industry? What is your background?
Well, since I was 19 years old, I started out modeling, and I'm going to tell my age. I'm 65 now, and I'm thinking, oh gosh.
She doesn't. For those of you listening, she does not look it. I'll say that.
Thank you for that. I started out when I was 19. I started out modeling, and so I did a lot of things around Charleston. I actually was in the very first show that the Omni back in the day, was, which is a Charleston hotel now. But I had groups of models that I trained and did shows all around Charleston. I actually was the trend board coordinator for the malls and did Mike Hyatt. There'll be some people watching this who might remember who Mike Hyatt was.
Mike Hyatt, yeah.
The midday fashion, the news show. So I was on that. And so my background has been in fashion since I was young. And I just knew that I wanted to eventually open a clothing store. And I'm a hairstylist too. So I have a hair salon and the clothing store. And then I opened up the shoe store and then menswear. And now we're opening up Retro Fly Vintage, which will be upstairs above our FLY Modern Apparel clothing. Hopefully by the end of August, that's what we're shooting.
So I heard you say you've got 3, if not 4 businesses.
Yes.
You have FLY Modern Apparel, and then Retro Fly will be upstairs.
Right.
And then
Soul Shoe Company.
So what is it? Soul Shoe Company?
Yes. And Fly Menswear.
Okay. And then that's together, the shoe company and the menswear, they're 2 separate.
Yes, they're together in the same location.
Okay.
Yes. And then I got Mod Beauty Studio and the Mod Barber. And we've been established in Summerville since 2002. I raised my kids in Summerville, and it's just something I always wanted to bring to this community, like high-end fashion at a great price point, and be able to offer our community, all the services that was missing in our community, which was the more modern side of clothing, hair, fashion.
Yeah.
Yes.
Are your stores adjacent to each other?
We're on one block.
That's Margie's, that's Margie's, that's Margie's.
Yes, absolutely.
How does that feel for you that you started from, the Omni and being on the noon show with Mike Hyatt to owning all these stores today?
Well, I did not realize how much I was in training back then.
Right.
So you're right. So everything, I utilize that now. We have our runway shows that we do twice a year. In April, we do our spring show. And then in September, which is coming up soon, we do our fall show right here on our own property. It's complimentary to the public. We give back to the community, put on our show, and everybody has a great time. So anybody's welcome to come. But I'm able to use all of those skills that I learned throughout the years in styling the customer and doing the fashion shows, which I love to do. I love to do the hair and makeup as well. And so it's just all one big package for me that I am able to now be able to still work in that industry, but almost behind the scenes a little bit more.
Right.
And then I push my girls out front.
So do your daughters, do they work for you?
I have my daughter-in-law does hair. I have another daughter-in-law who manages my front desk at the salon. Okay. It is a family affair. My husband works here. My son is a barber, and my niece also works as a sales rep.
That's got to be a fun Thanksgiving dinner.
It is. We try to keep the business side here when we're at home. So
right. Don't talk about work at home. I can see that. What's next for you? I mean, I don't know how you fit it all in as it is, but do you see any further expansion? I know you said vintage fly, but anything past that?
Yes.
Or fly? Is it vintage fly or fly vintage? I'm sorry.
It's a retro fly.
Retro fly. See, I'm just making stuff up. What's next?
People say I should be retiring, but I don't ever see that happen. So I'm not sure. I know I need to do some remodel in one of my other locations. So once I'm done with the retro fly and get that up and running, I plan on remodeling my salon upstairs, and the girls are really waiting for that. So that'll be the next move. I don't know if I'm going to open any more stores, though.
Right. Your plate is full.
But I never say never.
Never say never. Do you have customers who go to you for the haircuts and then hop over to your store? I'm sure you're kind of like a one-stop shop on that block, if you will.
Yeah. Well, that was something that really helped us, because once I opened up this location, it was 7 months later is when I opened up the clothing store. So we already had a client base that were very excited about coming to shop at the store. So that's been a very big help, and they love it. I have a little small 2-chair salon in the back of FLY as well, which I rotate staff over there from the main location, and that really helps to network us together.
Can we kind of dig in just briefly into trends? Right now, what's hot? Be it what's hot with hair, what's hot with clothes? Like, give us some insider tips.
Well, I have said this for years, and it seems like every decade is in, and it's been that way for some time.
Yeah.
So to me, I just pull from all of those decades, especially now opening the retro FLY vintage. I feel like pattern, of course, like I love pattern, but I feel like that is also really big right now. But also the monochromatics are here. The sets, people love to wear the monochromatic sets. And that's a trend that's going on right now. But I love to be able to pull something from every era and make it unique. And so I don't get stuck in trends as much. I love it all. That's the problem. I love it all. It's a good thing and a bad thing.
It's got to feel so good when you have someone walk out with a fresh haircut, maybe some fresh color, and then, bounces on over to get a fresh outfit. It's a whole new woman, head to toe.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. And the main thing for me is that people just walk away really feeling good and feeling like themselves, like you're not trying to make them look like somebody else, that they're giving them what is unique for them and their style. Yeah. So that's important to me.
Yeah. What would you say to the young lady right now who is the one who's maybe doing the runway shows, working at Charleston Place, doing all the things that you did when you were in training? Someone who might become a future entrepreneur. Any pro tips or nuggets of advice?
Just insert yourself as much as you can in the things that you love to do. And usually the things you love to do is what you're going to do for the rest of your life. Inserting yourself into those places and gleaning what you can from those experiences. Yeah.
Margie, I love asking entrepreneurs, busy entrepreneurs like yourself, this question. How do you start your day? Do you have a morning routine that kind of sets you up for success? Do you work out, drink coffee, meditate? What do you do to kick things off?
I pray. That is the absolute truth. I pray. I am here because of God. I am here because He gave me a vision and a dream that I've had in my heart, like I said, since I was a young girl. And I never expected to be doing it at an older age. But He was so wise in that, because now I know how to handle what He's given me now in my later years in life because of the experience that I've had. But definitely prayer. And I have just started working out again. So that's a helpful thing. I'm very much in need of that.
You jokingly said before that people said, the retirement should be next, but I don't see that for you. It sounds like you love what you do so much. Are you just going to keep going as long as you can, because it seems like you get so much joy from it?
I do, and it is a part of me.
Again, tell our listeners where they can find you in Summerville.
It's 114 East Richardson Avenue, Summerville.
Okay, so you're right there. And then it's flymodernapparel.com. And I see that we can find you on Facebook and Instagram at FLY Modern Apparel. So go ahead and give you a follow. Is there anything that I didn't ask that you'd like to add?
No, I think you covered everything. So I really appreciate you having me. It's been a real pleasure.
Yes, this has been a wonderful chat. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Absolutely. You have been listening to the Charleston Women Podcast with Margie Sutton of FLY Modern Apparel.
Thanks for spending time with Charleston Women Podcast. Please like us and follow us on whatever platform you're using to access Charleston Women Podcast.